Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Modesty 33 here, aka Crystal, and that's Crystal with a C. Remember, with a C. All right, and I'm here today to do a review on The Mummy, and this is going to be with spoilers. Probably not too many, but I just want to make you aware. And then I kind of feel like spoilers is relative because I could say something that completely ruins the movie for you. So just make sure before you watch the review, you go check out the movie. Don't want you to be spoiled on anything. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you some stats about the movie and then just kind of talk about my opinion of it. And I wonder if y'all see my shirt. It says pray about everything, worry about nothing. This is a beautiful blinged out shirt. The first lady at my church, she has a business, and so she makes these shirts. So she's going to get her website soon, but if you're interested in these blinged out Christian tees, let me know, comment below, and once her website gets up and running, I can make sure I put that in my description box. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I wrote some notes down. Again, I saw the movie last night. And so I wrote a few notes down. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of reference again a few of my notes on that I took from today. So let's go ahead and get into the stats of this film. So The Mummy is, again, 2017 film. We know that there was a Mummy trilogy that came out. I believe it was a trilogy with Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz that came out think back in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing those movies, but I don't know exactly when they came out. But they were really awesome movies. Recommend you do see those movies if you've never heard of The Mummy or if you've never seen it. There's also earlier renditions of the movie, but I've never seen those. I just saw the one with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz back in the 90s. But again, The Mummy just came out. It is classified as fantasy action, and it is starring Tom Cruise, who plays the main character in the movie, Nick Morton, as well as Annabelle Wallis, who plays Jenny Halsey. You also have Sophia Boutella, hopefully I'm not butchering that, but she plays the Mummy. There's an actual name that she has, but I think it's Emitet or something, but I don't want to butcher that or keep saying that, so I'm just going to refer to her as the Mummy. All right, and it was directed by Alex Kurtzman. I'm not really familiar with him as a director, but, he directed this film. The film is released everywhere in the United States today, which is June 9th. But if you live in a city or state that has earlier showings, you could have seen it last night or, possibly earlier. But here, where I live at in South Carolina, they do show the movies a day earlier. So I was able to see it last night. I saw the 7:30 showing. And overall, I'm just going to give you my overall and then just kind of get into pros and cons. So overall, I really like the movie. And that might be an unpopular opinion. And it's funny because I didn't read any reviews or watch any reviews before going to see the film. But I did... I do kind of look at the news and, go on Google and kind of look at different stories that come up. And I saw that, this movie was getting pretty negative reviews and criticized pretty harshly. And so I kind of didn't want to see it. I was like, well, maybe I should wait till it comes out on video. But I was like, well, I could do a review and possibly help somebody else or give somebody else another opinion about the movie. So I went ahead, saw it last night. And I'm actually happy I went to go see it because, again, I enjoyed the movie. And let me just tell you about me again. Again, this is Modesty 33, see the world through my eyes, my perspective. So you have to kind of recognize when you go to see certain films what your expectations are. Let me say that first of all, because hopefully y'all can see me okay. I'm in front of my mirror again, so hopefully the lighting is good. But anyway, you have to realize what your expectations are when you see certain films. Are you expecting like Academy Award winning every time you step into the theater and you pay for your ticket? Or are you just wanting to be entertained? I go into the theater expecting to be entertained. And, things that entertain me may not entertain other people. But I found the movie to be entertaining. I found it to be, and again, I'm going to kind of go over my notes as far as the pros, but I'm just giving you my overall review. I liked the movie. Let me tell you now some things I liked about the movie. I liked that, number one, like I said, it was entertaining to me. It had pretty good action. It moved along. It had a good flow to it, in my opinion. It was light and humorous. One of the things I was kind of concerned about with this movie when it was advertised, and that may be why some people didn't like it and why the critics didn't like it, because it was kind of advertised as being a darker version of The Mummy, but I didn't find it to be that at all. I found it to be very, again, light and humorous. It had some elements of the older Mummy movies to me, again, with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. That, again, there was like a humor, there was a lightness to it. Again, it was funny. So I really enjoyed that about the film. I like that it didn't go in the direction of like horror. And that might be what some people were expecting. And that might be why they, again, didn't really like the movie that much. But I was actually glad they didn't go in that direction, because I don't really like horror movies. I, again, enjoy action. I enjoy drama. I enjoy mystery. And I enjoy fantasy, which this was, again, classified as fantasy/action. So I like that they didn't go in the direction of horror. I like it wasn't that dark, and it was very entertaining. And even with the dark elements, it was still like humorous and entertaining. So that's what I really enjoyed about the film. So those are kind of, and then I enjoyed that there was like a twist kind of at the end. I didn't really see the twist at the end kind of coming. So again, watch the film. I'm not going to expose it here, but, again, if you haven't watched the film and you watch this review, I don't want you to be, again, like spoiled all the way. So definitely go see the film. Comment below. Let me know what you think about it. So that's just my opinion of the pros. Let me tell you the cons now. Again, in the con, I kind of discussed this before. The film was advertised as being more serious and kind of darker version of The Mummy. And to me, it definitely wasn't that. And that might be, again, why it's got such a critical reviews. Because it seemed to me that they kind of still went in the direction of the older movies with the Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. So being that that's the case, it really wasn't necessarily that different. So you kind of have the opinion, okay, well, what was the purpose of remaking it if you weren't going to do anything much different with it? So I can see where that criticism, or where people might have that opinion about it. Again, I still enjoyed it. The other thing that was a con was I thought that Tom Cruise's character would have been a little bit more serious, and I thought, I guess, going into it and seeing the previews, that he was like some sort of specialist or an expert, but you find out that he's just really a thief. And that's pretty much it. So you don't really get a lot of backstory on him. It's just kind of, throughout the movie, it's like, oh, we know you're a good man, you've done some bad things, but it's not really delved into anymore. So it's almost kind of like he's introduced almost kind of like a bumbling idiot, if you look at it that way. And I guess, again, you would have thought that there would have been more that his character brought to the storyline, and there really wasn't that much. The other thing was the introduction of Dr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde. I didn't really see the purpose of that. I don't know if that's something that's going to be put into play in another movie, if that was just something they were introducing, or it didn't really add to the storyline of The Mummy. The other thing that I didn't write down, but I just kind of thought of it as far as a con, they used some of the elements as far as the special effects from the other movie. If you remember from The Mummy, like the first movie, there's like a scene of Amenhotep, who was the mummy, and it was a man. He was producing a sandstorm, and you could see his face in the sandstorm, and he was trying to engulf this little airplane. And I thought that was really cool back in the day. They did like kind of reintroduce that element of it, but you didn't really see where the mummy, like this Amenhotep, this female version of the mummy, you didn't really see where she got the flex. When I say flex, like you could tell in the beginning of the film, like again, they talked about her being ruthless and the fact that she was, you know, you could tell she was a good fighter. You didn't really see any of those elements. You mostly saw an element of mind control, manipulation. You saw a bit of those things, but you didn't see like her fight, or you didn't see her really use like her powers more so. So I feel like that was kind of a con. So that is pretty much my overall review of the movie. And what I was saying in the beginning is you really have to recognize what your expectations are when you go to see a film. Like, I know what my top movies are, and for me, no movie can top those movies that I've ever seen or that I've seen since those movies have come out. I can do a video on that later on if you want to know kind of what my top 10 movies are. I will go ahead and tell you my top 3 though. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. So I love other movies besides Lord of the Rings. But of course, they're of high quality and caliber. They were, you know, they came out 2001, 2, and 3. And in my opinion, no movies top those. Like, I've not seen a movie to top those. You may not be a fan of the fantasy genre. I was not a fan until I saw those movies and saw how well done they were. Kudos to you, Peter Jackson. But when I go into the theater, I don't expect to see Lord of the Rings quality. Because in my opinion, nothing tops Lord of the Rings. You know, I've got some other movies who are my, you know, that are my top 10. And when I go into the theater, I expect to be entertained, but I don't, again, expect Lord of the Rings quality. So, you know, for me, again, I think the movie was good overall. I liked it. It was entertaining. It moved along. But is it Academy Award winning? Absolutely not. Could they have done without remaking The Mummy? Absolutely. They really could have. And they could have left it with the Brendan Fraser and the Rachel Weisz version, which was perfectly fine, which was perfectly good. I didn't feel like this really added much to the other films, or it really added anything to The Mummy per se, especially even in changing the sex, making the mummy from a male to a female. I don't feel like it really added anything. But at the same time, I still was entertained. I still enjoyed it. So again, that's my review. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I don't know what movie I'll see next. Maybe Transformers. I think that comes out this month as well. So, I think that's pretty much it, you guys. I do have some other videos coming out. I have a vlog that I have to figure out how to put together for when I went to Charleston this past weekend. And then I also have some footage from the Natural Hair Show back in April, and that was in Atlanta, Georgia. So I have like a what's in my bag video that I did, and I can go ahead and post that. That was again back from April. And then I also have just the footage again from the Natural Hair Show. And I have the things that I bought from the Natural Hair Show, and that might be my next video where I do a haul and a review of the things that I've used. So just comment below, let me know what you'd like to see. I recently purchased a new bag, pre-loved. And so I can, and it's a Louis Vuitton, so I can do a bag, you know, it's not an unboxing. I've already unboxed it. I unboxed it yesterday. But I can do, you know, pretty much an introduction into my bag family and let you know, what the bag is, what I plan to use it for. Again, I do have a trip coming up, and I'm going to talk about that soon. So let me know what you'd like to see below. Let me know what you thought of The Mummy, if you plan to see it, if you don't want to see it. Just comment below, talk to me, let me know what movie you plan to see next, what movie you're excited about seeing. So again, just be on the lookout from some other videos. Please give this video a like, again, share it, comment below, and please subscribe. I'm new to YouTube. I don't have this editing thing down really well. This is like a one take, so hopefully it comes out pretty well. I'm still experimenting with the whole lighting thing and where I'm actually going to film. So be patient with me. I do hope to get better at this. But again, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Modesty33, aka Crystal, with a C. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.